Hey, what is up, YouTube? I'm here to do a quick update video today because the code I released in tutorial 4 part 2, there was a bug in it. So I kind of wanted to explain what the bug is because it was a little bit subtle. Some of you might catch it if you watch the video, before this one, of course. Um, but yeah, it's pretty subtle and it's a issue that, like, it's really easy to run into if you're not watching out what you're doing. But pretty much what happens is you should always, if you're going to do something to an object, you should only have one way of doing it. If you have multiple ways of doing it, such as what happened to me, you can get these really weird bugs that you don't know why they're happening. And I'm going to show you exactly what I did and what you guys should watch out for. This is a perfect example. So let's get right to it. Here we go. So I gotta figure out where it is real quick. Okay, so we got the set sleep function. That's great. And we got check collision, which calls set sleep, which is okay. But the problem is, if we go into our bullet class, because if you remember at the end of the video on tutorial 4 part 2, I mentioned it was funky that some of the bullets were disappearing prematurely. And the reason for that is that they would hit, but their timer for age wouldn't get reset because it never hit a natural death. So the age would stay the same, and then it would get put into its sleep stack, which is bad because I'm treating the bullet differently from everything else. So a better way to do this, instead of calling this here, this is a quick fix. I made a set sleep function in the base draw entity class, so it's inherited. It's an inherited function. What I could do is, since everything is probably going to be a little unique how the set sleep's going to work, I can probably move this code down into here, but I just kind of cheated and made it so all it does is reset the age to 0, which is all we want for right now. And you can see right here I'm calling object set sleep. So that's essentially what happened, and that's why the bullets would go across the screen and sometimes disappears, because they'd hit an asteroid somewhere in their flight pattern, typically if it was a longer shot and it hit something at the end, so its timer was at like 38, then it would spawn in again and it would time out after 2 updates. You know, so that's why it all of a sudden just disappear, or sometimes it wouldn't even look like I was shooting anything, just because it would actually probably disappear within the ship's sprite, because everything's underneath the ship. So it'd probably disappear before it even got past the ship's sprite. But yeah, as you can see, the more proper way to do this is to probably yank all this code out of here. Maybe not. And instead of calling the set sleep directly, I should be calling the inherited set sleep function. So I should be doing X, which is the bullet, or Y, which is the rock, and I do x.setSleep, which in turn would go back up to the set sleep function, which actually could be inherited, because I could actually go like super dot set sleep, and but that would imply that everything would have to inherit the entity manager. If you see what I mean, because if you know where I'm going with this, pretty much what I was going to do is take it so that every single object would call the entity manager when it's supposed to be set to sleep. So it's kind of decoupling a bit, you know, because now then I'd be able to plug in any object, and I wouldn't have to worry about treating every single object differently. I could just go over here and go x.setSleep, and it would know that, okay, call this object, set anything that has to be reset before the next time it started again, any specific variables that pertain to it, such as age. There could totally be other stuff like a sprite state or just a state. So like there could be a state for the ship's exploded. If you went to set sleep, you'd probably want to reset it to not exploded, so then when it comes back, the ship isn't all mangled up or whatever. Or the asteroid, you'd want to set its state to full, as opposed to medium and small. So then when the asteroid spawns back in, it's going to be a full-size asteroid. And you'd want to reset any of the variables, such as the collision radius and the sprite. I think the next tutorial I'm going to do for you guys, we're going to look into sprite sheets. I'm going to have to figure that one out because I actually haven't done that in Haxe yet. I did it a lot in Flash and some other stuff, but I haven't done it in Haxe yet. So I'm going to read into that this week, and I'll come up with another tutorial for you guys. So I'll see you guys around Sunday. Have a good one.